pagbati na may ngiti sa aking mga labi. Naghahanap ba kayo ng makakatuwang sa pagre-review ng inyong anak? Meron yan sa DepEd. Ang ETUlay online tutorial ay libre at handog ng ating kagawaran sa pangunguna ng OUA ICTS EdTech. Ito ay isang proyektong makatutulong sa mga mag-aaral, katuwang ang mga magulang o kasama sa kani-kanilang tahanan para masagutan at maunawaan ang mga modules. Hangad din ng programang ETUlay ang matulungan ang ating mga guro sa kanilang mga blended learning classes. Ang ating ETUlay ay mula kinder hanggang senior high school. Bukod sa academics, meron din tayong mga special programs gaya ng All is Wellness, Reading and Math Remediation, Storytelling, Mommy Tech Talks, Classes sa Gramatika, Speech Class, Financial Literacy, at marami pang iba. Pinalawig din ng ETUlay ang ating Alive program para sa mga mag-aaral mula grade 1 hanggang grade 3. Gayun din ay mayroon tayong ALS program at SPED tutorials na makasisigurong makakamit ng lahat ang inclusive education. May SPED hotline na rin para sa inyong mga katanungan patungkol sa special education. Kaya, subaybayan mula Lunes hanggang Biyernes, mula 9:00 ng umaga hanggang 7:00 ng gabi ang ating ETUlay. Sa ating pagtutulungan, maiaangat natin ang bawat isa. Ating itutulay ang pagkatuto upang di mapigil ang pag-aaral ng kabataang Pilipino. Itulay natin ito, sulong edukalidad.
Mabuhay! Good day to all! I am your tutor Madge. Welcome to ETUlay, a free online tutorial, an initiative of the Department of Education, Information and Communications Technology Service, Educational Technology Unit, ICTS EdTech. This program is aimed at helping and assisting learners from kindergarten, senior high school, ALS, Alive, and SPED learners. Aside from answering the modules, the ETUlay is offering programs which you will surely look forward to. Together with our parents and teachers, the ETUlay will bridge the gaps where difficulty and ease meet in learning new knowledge and skills. So, let us prepare our modules, pen and paper. Ready your mind to see and hear worthwhile and interesting lessons. Let us now study and learn, together with our volunteer online tutors. Tara na!
Yun, no? Okay.
Yun.
Ayos.
Yun,
Afternoon,
Tutor
Tutor
Andre.
Prince.
Good afternoon,
Ayan.
Tutor Andre. Kumusta ang
Okay.
panahon natin dyan?
Ayan, very okay naman, sir. Hindi naman maulan. Sa inyo ba?
Parang medyo makulimlim at medyo lumilintik-lintik kanina or umaambon-ambon. Pero okay pa rin naman. Yan.
Yun. So, ayan, welcome natin students. Yan, si Tutor Prince, nagbabalik. Ayan, sinamahan
Yes,
ulit
hello. I'm back.
Ayan.
Yes. Yes.
Namiss natin si Tutor Prince.
Yan. Yan, hindi naman kayo iiwan ng tuluyan. Okay, so welcome mga grade 6 learners, teachers, and parents sa ating quarter 2, week 2 ng ETUlay online tutorial for Math 6. Ayan.
Yun.
So,
Okay.
again, remind ko lang kayo na i-follow natin ang Facebook pages ng DepEd EdTech Unit at ng DepEd tayo at maging sa YouTube channel ng DepEd Educational Technology Unit at DepEd TV ay mag-subscribe tayo. Tama ba,
Yun.
Tutor Andre?
Yes, sir. And of course, hindi lang kami sa Facebook at YouTube mapapanood dahil mapapanood din tayo sa talagang level up talaga tayo, Tutor Prince, kasi mapapanood na
Yes.
din tayo finally
Sa
sa
TV.
ating TV, sa IBC
Yes.
Channel 13 at sa
13.
Signal TV. Talaga nga
Mhm.
namang level up talaga ang
Yes.
ETUlay, no?
Tama.
That is every Monday naman yon yung sa TV namin.
Yes.
Ayun, okay. Sige po.
Alright, so, nakikita na ba ang slides ko, sir?
Yes, sir. Nakikita naman po.
Okay, ayan. Ito muna ang ating banner. Yan, gumagalaw-galaw pa ang ating mga emoji dyan. So, welcome mga bata sa ating Matalino Day Friday for Mathematics 6 tutorial session. Every Friday yan, 1 to 1:40 p.m. Okay,
Yun,
kasama
no?
nyo kami. Ako ang inyong soulmate, Tutor Prince, at
Of course, ako ang inyong math bay, Tutor Andre. Ayan. So,
ayan.
lagi nyo kaming abangan every Friday. Ayan.
Yes, ayan. So mabilis lang nating i-discuss ano ba ang sagot sa ating homework last week, Tutor Andre.
Ayan. So, basahin ko na, Tutor Prince, no?
Mhm.
I'll do the honors. So, ratio A is equivalent to ratio B. Ratio B is equivalent to ratio C. The question is, do ratios A and C form a proportion? Explain your thinking. So, may
Ayan.
pagka-hats ito, no? Higher order
Mm-mm.
thinking skills.
Yes.
So,
At
talagang,
ang ating mga soulmate na sumagot at nag-take ng ating challenge na yan, iisa or uniform ang kanilang naging way to explain their
explain.
thinking.
Yes.
Ayan. Nagbigay sila ng examples. Nagbigay sila ng example for ratio A, for ratio B, and for ratio C. So example natin, ang ratio A natin ay 2:5. And then
Mhm.
ratio B natin ay 4:10. And then ratio C natin, let's say, ay 8:20.
20.
Ayan. So check natin kung talagang ratios A and B are equivalent. So paano ba ito i-check, Tutor Andre, if they're
So,
equivalent?
yung tinuro ko sa kanila last week, kung natatandaan nyo
Mm.
pa, my dear students, so we have to get the product of the means and the product of the
Mhm.
extremes and make sure that they are equal to each other. Yun. So, let's
Yes,
see.
ayan. So 5 times 4, that is 20.
Yan yung
And then
means.
10 times 2, yes. And then 20 din ito. So ibig sabihin, confirmed na yung ratios A and B are equivalent or equal and
Equivalent.
they form a proportion.
Yes.
Now, i-check natin yung sa B and C naman. 4:10 equals 8:20. So we have 10 times 8. That is equal to 80. And then
Mhm.
20 times 4 ay 80 din. So ibig sabihin, ratios B and C also form a proportion. They are two equal ratios. So check natin kung yung A at C naman din ay nagpo-form ng proportion. 2:5. Is it equal to 8:20? So
Let us
means
see.
and then extremes. 5 times 8 is 40. 20 times 2 is 40. Ayan. So tama.
Okay.
That
So,
ratios
therefore,
A and C are also equal. Parang ano ba? Ano, parang yung
transitive property ito.
Yes, ayun.
Yes.
Transitive property.
Pero
Na
that
parang
is high school pa yan, no? Pero yung,
yes.
if A is equal to B and
Mhm.
B is equal to C, then A is equal to C.
Yes,
So that is
tama.
the application of transitive property of equality.
Yes,
Wow,
na-apply natin
gagaling
sa
natin mga kids, no?
yes, and
So,
for that,
sino-sino nga ba
i-award
yan,
natin.
mga
Yes. Meron
soulmates
tayo
natin?
actually 12. 10 sa
Dami.
kanila ay ating cuties din of the week for quarter 1, week 9. Tapos yung dalawa,
Ayun, oh.
humabol for quarter 2, week
Week
1.
1.
Okay?
Yun.
Ayan, umpisa
Sino
natin
ba yan,
syempre
Tutor
dito
Prince?
kay Gwyneth Angeline L. Tolentino.
Ayun, no? Very good. Congratulations.
Sunod, Sir Andre.
Si John Vincent A. Gadi. Yan. Galing Okay,
Next
next.
one is, syempre, si Maria Arian May B. Zacarias.
Ang ating suking soulmate, Tutor Prince. Ayan.
At
Siyempre,
Sir
ito
Andre.
pa. Ang ka-address ko din, ka-Bacoor. Si Enaj, Erica J. Galang, ang ating soulmate. Suking soulmate talaga to.
Yes, very active yung batang yan.
Alamat talaga yan, si Enaj.
Ito ay naging active na rin sa ating ETUlay tutorial session for Math 6, si Maria Riana Meticia T. Sempro. Ang ganda ng pangalan.
Yun.
Maria Riana Meticia. Next,
Of course, isa pang suking soulmate natin, Tutor Prince, si Gracie N. Kionisala. Ayan, congratulations.
ang cute ng headset. Okay. Ito naman, Pasko na kina Nerwin. Nerwin Pinigal Jr. Merry Christmas and congratulations.
Merry Christmas all the way from Camiguin. Kasi na Camiguin shirt siya.
Oo
Ayun.
nga.
Okay, and of
Next
course,
one,
sino
ito
pa?
to.
Ayan, of course,
Bumaba.
isa pang suking soulmate natin. Yan. Si Adrian Ray D. Rivera. Yan. Galing
Congratulations sa ating cortina. Expose siya. Okay, next.
Kitang-kita.
Yan, si
Ayan,
Ayan Gail R. Dilay na nagbida ng kanyang ring light
Wow.
at ng kanyang Hello Kitty. Ano ba? Wall. Hello Kitty
Para
wall. Yan.
para nagti-TikTok to, Tutor Prince, no?
Parang siguro nga.
TikTokeries. Mhm.
Next
Okay,
one.
kaya vlogger. Ayan, of course, si
Mm.
Henry Stephen P. Kadapan. Ayan,
Yes. Ang
congratulations.
cute-cute naman ng blue background ni Henry.
Ayan.
Yan.
Favorite color niya yata ang blue, Tutor
Yes. Ito
Prince.
naman yung ating duties for quarter 2 and week 1 lang. Okay? Si Princess
Yes.
Lorraine P. Del Rosario yung sa mga yan. At ang panghuli sa 12, siyempre
Ayan,
na,
ang last but definitely not the least, si
yes.
Gerald R.V.D. Cantor. Ayan,
Yes.
congratulations
Yes. At
sa
ang
lahat ng ating
cute-cute
mga
ng door na
soulmates. Color blue.
okay.
Maganda sa paningin, sir.
Yes. Okay.
Ayan.
Ayan. Teacher Andre, ito ay na-discuss natin last week.
Yes.
So, meron tayo dito hashtag mistakes allow thinking to happen.
Ay,
Ayan.
opo,
Bakit
yes.
nga ba,
So,
Tutor Andre?
ayun. So, kung matatandaan nyo kasi, nung last week, I committed a mistake regarding sa answer to that question. Yung what fraction of the number of circles is the number of triangles. So, I said that it is 4:1, but sadly, or unfortunately, that is not the correct answer, no? So, my apologies on that sa mga nakapanood last week. However, I just want to make things clear para na rin po sa lahat ng mga nakapanood ng live session last week. So, the correct answer here should be 1/4. Since we're talking
Yes.
about the ratio between the number of triangles and the number of circles. Since the number of circles is 4, and if you get 1/4 of the number of circles, so which is 1/4 times 4, and that is equal to 1, which is the number of triangles. Since we are asked to find the fractional part. So therefore,
Yeah.
the correct answer, kids, my dear students, should be 1:4. So
Yes.
hope that you get it already. So again, my apologies po sa lahat ng mga nakanood because I answered incorrectly. So however, sabi nga ni Tutor Prince, ayan, hashtag mistakes allow thinking to happen. So thank you very
Yan.
much and hope you understand
Yes.
sa mga manonood po. Maraming salamat po.
Ayan. Sir Andre, thank you for that. So nawa naliwanagan tayong lahat. So ayan, normal lang nagkakamali tayo. Syempre kahit kami mga math teachers. So we are not geniuses naman and we will humble ourselves kapag talaga naman kami ay nagkakamali. Ayan. So thank you for this chance na may tama natin ating maling na isabi sa inyo last week. Okay. So much for that. Let's have the next. Okay. So bago tayo mag-proceed sa ating session for this afternoon, we would like to invite everyone na makipag-participate tayo sa pagdiriwang ng National Science and Technology Week.
Technology
Na may
Week.
na may temang Agham at
Agham
Teknolohiya,
at teknolohiya, tugon sa hamon ng panahon. Ayan.
So ito ay
nagsimula
magtatapos
pa pala
na,
siya.
yes, noong 22
Nung
tapos
magtatapos siya this
magtatapos.
Sunday, November 28, 2021. Ayan.
Ayan.
Okay.
Ayan.
So,
So
I think
may mga hashtag din sila ano. So hashtag 2021 NSCW,
NSCW.
hashtag DOST tugon sa hamon, and hashtag science for the people. Ayan. So makipag-participate tayo sa mga activity ng DOST in celebration of this NST Week. Alright?
Ayan. So, bale, bisitahin na rin nila Tutor Prince, yung mga
Yes, oo nga.
social media accounts na. So, we have the website, www.nstw.dost.gov.ph, or yung ating
Yes.
Facebook page na NSTWDOST. Again, this is in
Yan.
celebration of the National Science and Technology Week with the theme
Alright.
Agham at Teknolohiya, tugon sa hamon ng panahon. Ayan. Thank you
Okay.
very much.
Next, so ang ating topic nga for this afternoon ay solving problems involving different types of proportion. At syempre, pasalamatan muna natin ang ating central office sa pagpapagamit nila ng module na ito na ating pinagbasihan ng presentation for this afternoon.
Yan. Thank you very much
At
po.
yes, ang ating objectives, ilan ba yan? 3.
Yun.
Una,
Okay, so,
find the
unahin ko
missing
na,
term.
Tutor Prince.
Yes, in a proportion, direct, inverse, and partitive. Pangalawa, Tutor Andre.
And of course, use models, tables, and illustrations to understand, identify, and differentiate the direct, inverse, and partitive proportions.
At ang panghuli, solve problems involving direct proportion, partitive proportion, and inverse proportion. So, ayan, mag-review tayo ng very, very quick lang. Actually,
Mabilis lang.
kanina, nagawa na natin to eh. Tama?
Yes.
Yung
Oo.
determining whether two ratios form a proportion. Yun nga.
So, quick recap lang ulit tayo.
Yes. Multiply lang ang ating means at extremes. So sa number 1, product ng means natin ay 20. Ang extremes
Yes.
ay 20 din. So ibig sabihin, these two ratios are equal and they form a proportion.
Proportion.
What about number
Ayun.
2, Tutor Andre?
So, check ulit natin. So, katulad sa sabi Tutor Prince, multiply natin ang means and extremes. So, we have the means, 12 and 3. So, 12 times 3 is 36. And similarly, for our extremes, 4 times 9, that is also 36. So, they have the same products. So, therefore, the number 2 given form a proportion.
Yan.
Ayun.
Sa number 3 kaya, 4 times 10, 40 yan. Product ng
Mhm.
means. Pero ang ating extremes, 12 times
Extremes.
5, 60. So ibig sabihin, these two ratios are not equal and they do not form a
A
proportion.
proportion. Ayun. So,
Yan.
ganun lang po ang pinakamadaling paraan para malaman natin kung proportion sila or hindi. Okay?
Yes. O kaya, pwede nilang i-rewrite as in fraction forms ang ating ratios. And then, apply
Yes.
yung cross-product property. So, 12 times 5, 60 yan. 10 times 4, 40. So, ganun pa rin naman. So, the products of the means and extremes are not equal. So, ibig sabihin,
Or another
the
way pa
ratios...
din.
Yes, Tutor
Or
Andre?
may another way pa din is to change the given fractions to lowest terms. No?
Yes, yung 12 is to
Pwede din
4, yan ay magiging 3 is to 1.
Yes.
Whereas ang 10 is to 5 ay 2 is to 3. Ayan, mas naging klaro na hindi
2
talaga
is to
equal ang ating
1
ratios.
to the prince.
Sorry. Ang inisip ko 10 is to 15, sorry. 2 is to 1.
2 is
Yes.
to 1.
Okay.
Ayan, okay.
Okay.
So therefore, still di pa rin sila nagpo-form ng proportion. Yun.
Yeah, so not
So
equal
madami na
yan.
tayong
Okay.
ginawa
Oo. Ayan. So, let's have our first problem na. So, basahin natin, Tutor Andre.
Ayan, hashtag extra rice na this. Naku, parang ako to
Oo.
Napaparami tayo ng kain. Ayan. Okay, so her mother plans to cook mixed seafoods for our lunch. Uy, masarap yan, healthy. She will mix 2 pieces of shells for every 3 pieces of small squids. Usong-uso yung squid game, no? Squids.
Mhm.
How many shells will she need to mix with 12 pieces of squids? Uy,
Ayan. So, para mas ma-visualize natin yung problem, I think makakatulong kung gagawa tayo ng table. Ayan.
yan.
So, sabi dun sa problem kasi, for every 2 pieces of shells, hahaluan niya ng 3 pieces of
3
small squids. Yan. So, ibig sabihin, kung dodoblihin niya yung dalawa, magiging 4. Natural, yung squids, dodoblihin niya din yung bilang, magiging 6 naman.
6.
At kung from 2, magiging 6, ibig sabihin, titriplehin niya. At ganun din sa squids, titriplehin din. Bali, 3 times 3 is 9. Ngayon, mapapansin natin na ito ang unknown, yung number of shells. Let's say ito yung n natin. Okay? It
And
stands
you are
for the number of
given
shells.
the number of squids,
Yan.
which
So,
is 12.
yes. So we can see na as the number of shells increases, the number of squids also increases at the same rate. And this is application of direct proportion. So, how do we solve a direct proportion? So again, tingnan natin yung ating table. At we can derive or generate ratios out of these given information. So yung number of shells to the number of squids, 2 is to 3 yon. Similarly, yung number of shells to number of squids dito sa ating third column, 4 is to 6 naman. And then 6 is to 9, and then this is n is to 12. So mapapansin natin, Tutor Andre, na yung mga ratios after 2 is to 3, okay, ay equivalent.
Can be simplified.
Yes, can be simplified
To 2 is to 3
as
din.
2 to 3, yes. Ibig sabihin, logically, it will follow that yung ratio natin na n is to 12 should also be equal to 2 is to 3.
Yes.
So how do we find now a missing term in direct proportion? Sige nga, Tutor Andre,
nga
tulungan
ba?
mo nga kaming mag-solve. Paano ba to?
Hmm.
So, i-rewrite
Okay.
natin ito. So, gagawin natin itong n ito. n is to 12
N is to 12 equals to 2 is to 3.
to 3.
Okay,
Yes.
siguro maraming ways, sir, pero
Mm.
isa-isahin muna natin. Siguro pwede natin gawin. Okay, tinan nyo yung nasa denominator part. So, kung mapapasin ninyo, meron tayong 12 and 3. Na kung iisipin ninyo, di ba from that, yung 3, kaya naging 12 kasi nag-multiply tayo by 4, di ba?
Yes,
Yan.
yes.
So, nag-multiply tayo by 4. So, since nag-multiply tayo ng 4 sa denominator part, so, technically, ganun din yung gagawin natin sa numerator part. So, kung minultiply
Yes.
natin sa denominator, ganun din yung gagawin natin sa numerator. So we also multiply the numerator by 4. So therefore, we
So,
have 2 times 4 and that is 8. Ayun.
yan. So, tama.
Tama
That
diba,
is
Tutor
one way.
Prince?
Yes, sumabit na yung boses ko. Yan.
Mhm.
Or, we can have this method. Yung gagamit tayo ng cross-product
Cross.
property.
Yes.
So, n times 3 should be equal to 2 times 12 or 12 times 2. So, dun sa part na walang unknown, get natin yung product. What is 12 times 2? 24.
24.
And it would be equal nga dun sa n times 3. So, this is a multiplication number sentence where n is the missing factor, 3 is the given factor, and 24 is the product. So,
Yes.
syempre, para makasolve natin yung missing factor, we have to divide the product by the given factor. 24 divided by 3 is 8.
8.
Ayan. So, we got the
Okay.
same result. So, ibig sabihin,
Ayun.
confirm na 8
Yes.
ang hiyahalong shells kapag 12 ang ilalagay na squids ni nanay. Okay?
Ayun.
So, let's
tama.
practice pa how to find the missing term in
Actually, sir, marami na
direct
po nagsagot
proportion.
ng 8
Ay, oo,
shells,
sorry,
no?
hindi ko
Oo.
na
Sa sobrang
naalala.
dami, sir, natambakan na tayo.
Oo.
Very
Ayan,
good
Tutor
ang
Andre,
ating mga dear students. So, sa mga sumagot ng 8 shells, very good. Congratulations.
Yan.
Okay. So, this time
Ito
naman
naman.
po, Tutor Prince, ayan. So, find the missing term in this given example. So, we have the number of laptops to 5 desktops is equal to 6 laptops to 15 desktops. So, what is the
Ayan.
missing number of laptops?
Yan. So, para mas maging, madaling tingnan, we can write a proportion naman out of this. So, again, we let the unknown be the variable n or
N.
letter n. So, we have n is to 5. Colon form na lang muna tayo. Equals
Yes.
6 is to 15. Ayan.
May mga
So,
sumasagot, Tutor Prince.
Ano ang sagot
Yeah.
nila, Tutor Andre?
May sumagot. Ay, mag-challenging to. Iba-iba. Si James Joseph, ang sagot niya ay 2 laptops. Si
2?
Henry Stephen, 2 laptops din. Si Tristan Uriel, 4.
4.
Okay.
Nagkaiba
iba-iba.
sila. May 2, may 4. May iba ba bang
Yun.
sagot, Tutor Andre? Or
Sa ngayon, sir, yung mga sumunod naman, sir, si Ian Gale, 2 laptops din. Si Sean
Okay.
Austin, 2 laptops. Ayun, so nagbago na rin si
Henry?
si Tristan.
Henry.
Naging 2 na. 2 na
Tristan
din
pala.
daw.
Okay, 2 na rin daw. So,
Two.
wala na ito.
Okay,
Ayan.
yun.
So, nagkaroon siya ng realization agad na dapat 2 ang sagot. Sige, check natin. So, again, we can use yung ating technique ng pag-check kung equal ba ang ratios. That is, getting the product of the means and getting the products of the extremes. So, we have 5 times 6. We can actually write the answer na dyan agad. So, 30 yan. Equals n times 15, we write it as is. So, n times 15. So, kagaya kanina, kapag sa multiplication number sentence, meron tayong unknown, we have to solve that in terms of the two or in terms of the given information. So, n is the missing factor, 15 is the given factor, 30 is the given product. So, therefore, n must be equal to the result when you divide the product 30 by the given factor 15. And of course, this is equal to 2. Ayan. So,
2.
tama kayo,
Ayun.
mga bata. 2 ang sagot. 2 laptops to 5 desktops is equal to 6 laptops to 15 desktops.
Sana all
Ayan.
may laptop at desk.
Oo nga. Tayo may desktop lang at ang laptop medyo mabagal na. Ayan. So, hashtag
Yes.
solve for more na tayo, Tutor Andre. Let us solve another word problem. Okay, pakibasa ko.
Meron tayong plantito ngayon. Si Brando.
Yes,
Ayan.
plantito. Si Brando. Oo nga.
Okay. Si
Brando na
Brando.
plantito.
Brando
Mhm.
planted 15 seedlings in 2 hours. At this rate, how many seedlings can he plant in 6 hours? Okay. So we're
Ayan.
talking about here, Tutor Prince, same rate, no?
Yes, at the same rate ng pag-increase ng number of seedlings na matatanim niya. So we can actually,
Yes.
make a table out of this given problem para lang ma-organize natin. So we will
Yes.
have 2 columns and then yung first row will be for the label. So yung first column will be for number of seedlings. Seedlings na lang. Tapos ito, hours.
For the number of hours.
Ayan. So 15 seedlings rather. Magkakapatid ang sinasabi ko, siblings. Tapos, should be, equal sa
2 hours.
ayan. Tapos, how many seedlings? So, this is question mark or simply n na lang. Okay. 6 hours. So, out of this table, since this is direct proportion, we can set up the proportion na 15 is to 2 must be equal to n is to 6. So notice na dapat nasa parehong pwesto ang ang under the same category. So yung unang term natin sa bawat ratio ay yung number of seedlings. At yung pangalawang term natin sa bawat ratio ay yung number of hours. Kasi pag nag-iba yung ano ba, pag nag-iba yata yung pwesto baka maapektuhan ang sagot, tama?
Yes.
So ito ang ating
and
magiging
application kasi siya ng direct proportion, so dapat ganyan talaga ang format.
Yan. Okay. So 15 is to 2 equals n is to 6. Although, palitin nyo ng grade 9, meron tayong mga properties of proportion wherein pero tayong may galawin na mga terms. Okay?
Pero sa
So
kanya
how do
naman
we solve
nalaman
for
yun.
this? Yes. Okay. So how do we solve for this, Sir Andre? Ano kayong
So
magiging
katulad
sagot?
ginawa natin kanina, multiply the means and the extremes,
Yes.
no? Ayan. So we have to multiply the means, so that's 2 times n. So that's 2 times n equals to 15 times 6 is 90. Ayan.
Yes.
So therefore, you have 2 times n equals to 90. And again, to solve for n, we have to divide the product 90 by the given factor 2. So we have 90 divided by 2, and that's equal to 45. So again, marami
45.
nagsagot ng correct, which is 45
Yes.
seedlings. Yan. So
Yes.
may label pa. Tama yun. Very good, kids. Sa mga sumagot ng 45 seedlings. Tama.
All right. So thank you for answering or giving the correct answer. Ayan, dito na tayo sa next nating situations. Hashtag save more when you spend less.
Okay. Ano naman
Ano
kaya
ba?
to?
Lalim to pero parang medyo maloko lang din. Save more. Syempre,
Save more.
automatic kapag nag-save more ka, kailangan mag-spend ka ng less.
Tama.
So let's read the problem. So Denny's weekly allowance lasts for 5 days when she spends 24 pesos daily. This week, she plans to make her allowance last for 6 days. How much should she spend per day then? So for this given problem, we can have a table. Nakagaya nito. So we have 2 categories of numbers or quantities here. Una, amount of money spent per day. And then pangalawang quantity, number of days the allowance will last. So ito yung given natin. Yung 24 pesos na in-spend niya kada araw, ibig sabihin lang nun, yung kanyang allowance maglalast ng 5 days.
Yes.
So ibig sabihin, kung tawag dito, gusto niyang mapatagal yung buhay ng kanyang allowance, mag-increase yung number of days the allowance will last. Ano kaya magiging epekto nun sa amount of money that she or he has to spend per day? Ito ba'y tataas din or bababa? Sabi dun sa hashtag natin, save more when you spend less.
So as you save more, you will spend less, no?
Yes.
Or
ibig
the
sabihin
other way
dapat-
around.
Or yun ba,
Pwede
spend
rin,
more, you will
pwede-
save less. Tama?
Tama. Yes, spend more, you will save less. Tama.
Ayan.
So
ibig
therefore,
sabihin nito,
bababa
Mhm.
yung
Yes,
amount of money spent. Ayan.
Yes, per day. Kung gusto niya mapahaba ng kahit isang araw man lang yung allowance niya. Ibig sabihin nito, when the amount of money she spends a day decreases, the number of days that her weekly allowance will last increases. So may bababa, may tataas. And this is an application of inverse proportion.
Tama. Yun.
Sa iba bang book,
So,
Tutor Andre, ang tawag dito ay indirect? Tama
yes,
ba?
that's correct po, Tutor Prince. That's indirect proportion. Since
Yes.
kabaligtaran siya, Tutor Prince, ng direct
Direct.
proportion. That's correct.
Mhm.
po.
So,
Tama.
how do we solve now? Or find the missing term in an inverse proportion? So again, itong question mark natin, gawin natin letter N. Do we write na 24 is to 5 ay equal sa N is to 6? Tama bang ganun yung ating magiging proportion? Hindi. May tip tayong ibibigay para dyan. So to set up the proportion, switch. Meron tayong pagpapalitin. The terms in one quantity to make the ratios equivalent. So, we have to choose lang. Either itong first row or second row ang ating pipiliin. So for this example, let us use the second row para pagpalitin natin yung 5 and 6. So gawin natin yan. Ayan, gumalaw-galaw. Ayan, okay. So pinagpalit natin yung 6 tsaka 5. So therefore, we can now set up the proportion. Okay? So we have 24 pesos is to 6 should be equal, ayan, this question mark is N, is to 5. So after nating mag-switch at makapag-set up ng proportion, we can already solve for the missing term just like how we do when we solve missing term in a direct proportion. So paano yan, Tutor Andre?
Yan. So in our case, since naka-fraction form siya, so we may do the cross products na lang, cross multiplication. So 24 times
Yes.
5 is equal to 6 times n. Ayun.
Yan.
So you have 24 pesos times 5 days equals to 6 days times the missing amount, which is
Yes.
N.
So,
Okay.
so itong 24 times 5 yan ay equal sa 100.
120.
Yes. Itong 6 times
And
N,
then,
just write it as is. Ayan. Okay. So therefore, Tutor Andre, paano ba makukuha ang value ng N?
so of course, to solve for N, we just simply divide the product 120 pesos by the given factor, which is 6. So 120 pesos
Ayan.
divided by 6, and the result will be 20 pesos. So the answer
Ayan.
is 20 pesos. And again,
Ayan.
tama na naman yung sagot ng ating mga dear students sa ating chat box. Very good
Yes.
talaga ang ating mga kids, no? Yan,
Yes.
pare-pares po. 20 pesos, iisang kanilang sagot. Walang
Yan.
naiba.
Oo.
Gagaling ng ating
Yes.
mga
Hanggang saan
kids.
kaya aabot ng 20 pesos na yan? Ano?
Ayun nga eh.
Okay.
Dati
Okay,
corneto
so-
lang yan eh. Ice cream.
Oo, ngayon kaya ano kayo
Mm.
mabibili ng 20 pesos na yan. Anyway, so hashtag solve for more na naman tayo. Let me read the problem. 5 volunteers can finish painting the school fence in 8 days. Ayan, 5 volunteers, 8 days. Now, so, blank volunteers, kaya may question mark dito, can finish the same job in 4 days at the same rate. Ayan,
Okay.
without us writing any number sentence or any solution, ano kayang pwedeng maging logic dito or maging thinking natin dapat para masolve natin itong mabilis?
So what can you say about the relationship between the
Mm-mm.
number of volunteers and the number of days?
Mm-mm.
No?
Ayan, so mapapansin natin na yung number of days, nangalahati. Ayan, di ba? From 8, naging 4 na lang. From 8 days, naging 4 days. So nangalahati yung amount of time
Na ang pagtatrabaho nila.
okay
Ayun.
na dapat matapos yung sa bakod ng school. So dapat, ang maging kaukulang effect nun sa ating number of volunteers ay dodoble
Yes.
ang magtatrabaho. So magiging 5 times 2 or simply 10.
Ayun.
Ayan. So pero kung hindi mo makuha yung ganitong thinking, pwede natin isolve ito using the method we did earlier. Ayan.
So, you do the
So,
switch.
yes. So mag-switch muna tayo dito. So let's say ang switch natin this time yung merong unknown. So let's say ito yung ating unknown which is 10. So let's see kung makuha natin yung parehong sagot na 10. So magiging n dito, tapos ito magiging 4. So we're going to have the ratio na, wait
5?
lang. Tama ba? Hindi,
Tama
mali ang
po.
aking ginawa. Paano mali ang aking ginawa?
5:4.
Ayan, baka magkamali na naman tayo. Wait lang ha.
Okay, yun nga.
So let me erase that. Kasi dapat pala ang pag-move ko ay doon sa may
5 and
kapareho.
8.
Yes, under the same quantity.
Yung ano,
Yan.
same quantity, yes. So it should be
Yes.
8 and 4.
Yes. Okay. Dahil nga ang gusto kong mangyari ay yung doon sa may
Unknown.
question mark tayo maggagalaw. Yes. So dito yung n natin, ito 5. So tataas yung n, tapos bababa yung 5.
Kasi
Ano ginawa ko?
patayo nga pala yung table natin.
Oo.
Kasi kanina
Oo.
Tutor Prince pahiga.
Yun. Diyan ako nalilito din eh. So we now
Don't be
have
confused. Don't be confused.
Oo. We now have n is to 8. Ayan na. Ito yung ating ratio. N is to 8 na siya this time. Equals 5 is to 4.
Yun. Yan,
Tama
tama
ba?
na yan. Yes, tama na po.
Ayan. So, we can solve for that. Dito na lang nga, para mas mabilis. 8 times 5. Product ng means
40.
natin, 40. Tapos 4 times n. Simply write natin na ang 40 ay equal sa 4 times n. So, ano ang number that we should multiply 4 by to get 40? Ibig sabihin,
40 divided
And
by 4.
4.
Which
And ang
is
sagot
equal to
ay
10.
Ayan, so 10 nga din. Yes,
Yun.
so tama.
Okay. And they got
Alright.
it all correctly, Tutor Prince, base sa nakikita ko sa ating comment box.
Comment section.
Ayun.
Okay. Ayan, so hashtag solve for more na naman tayo para sa ating inverse proportion application. Food packs. Pakibasa nga, Tutor Andre.
Sige po, Tutor Prince. Food packs to be distributed among 40 families in a barangay will last for 5 days. If 10 families move in and will be added to the list of recipients, how many days will the food supply last? Ayun.
Ayan. So merong mga umiksena pang 10 pamilya at nakiano pa. Joke lang.
Dagdag.
Idinagdag. So mabait naman yung barangay, no? Idinagdag na yung mga nag-move in sa kanilang lugar. So ibig sabihin, from 40, magiging 50 na ang number of families na mapagbibigyan ng food packs. So ibig sabihin, yung 5 days na dapat tatagal ng food packs for 40 families ay syempre bababa. Or
Bababa.
Mm-mm.
So as the number of families increases, the
Yes.
number of days decreases. So
Yes.
again,
So
that's an
dapat
example of inverse
inverse
proportion
proportion. So
or
itong question
indirect
mark ay
proportion.
yes, i-n natin ulit 'yan para may variable tayo. And dito rin tayo mag-switch. Ayan, this time klaro na sa akin na sa patayo tayo magagalaw, hindi
Okay.
sa parehong
Pahiga.
row. So yes, so tataas yung n, tapos bababa naman yung 5. So we have the ratio or the proportion 40 is to n or 40 to n should be equal
Yes.
to 50 to 5.
2:5. Yun.
Yan.
Okay, so may mga sumasagot na Tutor Prince.
Ano
Ang
kayang sagot
nauna
nila?
actually, I see, sa nakikita ko ang nauna po sir, I see Nerwin Negal, 4
Mhm.
days. Sina
Ayan,
ni
4
Carlo
days.
Miguel Palero, 4 days.
Mhm.
Roxylin Adirol, Friana Abadir, Hendy Stephen. Ayan, so
4 days
on and
din.
so forth. Si Gracie, Kionisala, 4
Mhm.
days.
Ayan,
Alexis
nagkakaisa ang
Christian.
ating mga estudyante. 4 days ang kanilang sagot.
Yes.
Check natin ng mabilisan. So, cross product property tayo ulit. So, 40 times 5, yan ay 200. Equal yan sa n times
50
50
times 50
or
or
50
50
times n.
times 50.
Okay? So therefore, ang n natin, kagaya ng sa mga kaninang mga number sentence natin, where n is the missing factor, it should be equal to the product. The quotient.
The
When the
quotient,
product, yes, 200 is divided by the given
50.
factor, in this case is 50. So we can erase muna yung tig-isang zero nila para mas bumaba yung ating numbers. So 20 over 5 na lang, which is equal to
4.
4.
Yun.
Ayan.
So we therefore have 4 days na lang. So mas mabilis na ang pagde-deliver
Yes.
ng food packs. Okay, very good. Ayan, nagagaling natin mga kids.
Yes. Okay. Or ano ba yung buhay ng ating person?
Talagang madali nila
Okay.
naintindihan, Tutor
Ayan.
Prince, ang lesson.
Yes. Oo.
Okay,
Siguro
hashtag,
dahil ano ba, nung grade 5 ba kayo ay naituro na sa inyong proportion? Baka may background sila lang.
may
Kahit
background na kahit pa paano. Tsaka, yun natutunan din nila nung last week din. Somehow,
Yes, tama.
nakatulong din. Yun, very good.
Hashtag na tayo,
Okay.
hashtag is-shake na yan. Hindi tayo mag-shake kundi yung ating mga prutas ang is-shake natin.
Ayun, okay.
Ano bang meron dito? Pomelo at mangga. Pakibasa
Good,
nga, Tutor
sarap na.
Andre.
Okay, sige, Tutor Prince. Sabi diyan ay Marcelo harvested 80 pomelos and mangoes in their backyard. Wow, sana all may backyard.
May backyard, oo.
The ratio of the number of pomelos to the number of mangoes is 2:3. The question is, how many pomelos and how many mangoes did he harvest? Ayun.
Ayan. So yung 80 dyan, yun ay suma total, okay, nung kanyang na-harvest na pomelo at mangga.
Yes.
At yung bilang nga ng pomelo sa number of mangoes ay nasa ratio na 2:3.
2:3.
Ayan.
Okay.
So, ibig
paano
sabihin
gagawin
nito,
natin dyan?
so the whole, which is 80 in this case, needs to be divided proportionally into parts based on the given ratio. So, paano ba gagawin natin dyan?
So that's
Dahil
an
nga ito ay
application of
yes, partitive proportion. Ang ating gagawin para mabilis na lang tayo, ito ang shortcut natin. Okay, yung terms
ratio
natin sa
natin.
ratio, okay, na 2 at saka 3 i-add natin. So 2 plus 3
Yes.
equals 5. Hindi ito ibig sabihin 5
Then,
piraso kundi 5 units ang tawag dyan. So the 5 units, it represent already the total
The whole.
number which is 80. Yes. So we have to determine now ilan ang nire-represent ng isang unit. So to do that, we will just have to divide 80 by 5.
Yes.
Yan.
In sum
ano
ng
bang sagot dito?
ratios.
Yes.
16.
Yung
So,
sum ng
80.
terms sa ratio, yes. So 16.
So,
So, ibig
80 divided by
sabihin,
5 is 16. For each
yan ang-
unit
Yes.
is 16
Yes, 16
fruits.
Yes.
Okay.
So, dun sa
Now,
ratio na 2:3, we'll simply multiply each term sa ratio na yan by 16 to determine the answer in the problem. What is 2 times 16?
That's
32.
32.
Ano ang 3 times 16, Tutor Andre?
That's 48. Ayun.
Yes.
And
yan.
yung 2, of course, 2 is represented by the number of pomelos and
Yes.
3 is represented by the number of mangoes. So therefore, in our case, since we multiply them both by 16, the terms in the ratio 2:3, we multiply them both by 16. So therefore, we have now 32 pomelos and 48 mangoes.
Yes, so
Ayun.
dapat
So sa
completely
nakita ko,
labeled.
ang gagaling pa rin talaga natin mga kids. So tama ang kanilang mga sagot. 32 pomelos and 48 mangoes. Very good.
Yes.
Ang gagaling.
Okay, good job. Sabi nga nila, ano sabi ko?
And
Sa grade 2. Good job.
good job, ayun.
Alright.
Kaya nga
Okay.
din,
So let's
sabi
mm,
dito, kaya nga partitive proportion So from the
mm,
word part, no?
papartition,
So,
papartitionin ba tawag? Oo.
pinaghati-hatiin by parts,
Yes.
ika nga.
Okay, let's apply our knowledge on partitive proportions sa ating next problem. This time, 3 ang terms natin sa ratio. Kasi
Yes.
ang involved dito ay 3 klase ng drinkware. Mugs, glasses, and
Glasses,
teacups.
teacups. Wow. Gaganda ng
Ang
mga,
ratio ay, oo
ano
nga,
nila,
sana all ganyan ang mga kabasuhan. Kabasuhan matawag dyan.
kabasuhan.
2
2
is
is
to
to
3
3 is to 4. Ayun.
Yes, at ang total ay 135. So anong ang gagawin natin, Tutor Andre, para malaman natin naman this time, anong bilang ng teacups? So teacups lang ang ating concern ha.
Okay,
Asan yung mga
take
teacups
note of
ito?
the problem. So, ang
Ito yung
hinahanap
teacups
na natin
natin.
ay number of teacups. Okay,
Social
so
ng teacups
therefore,
nila, makulay. Ayan. Yes. Anong
sana
gagawin
all
natin,
may
Tutor Andre?
teacups. So, katulad ng ginawa natin kanina, na tinuro niyo teacher to Prince. So, you're going to add the terms in the given ratio. So, we have 2 plus 3 plus 4. And what is 2 plus 3 plus 4, Tutor Prince?
That is equal to 9. At ibig sabihin niya, 9 units. Hindi siya 9 pieces. 9
Pagkalahatan.
units, yes, ay equal sa 135. So let me
So,
write that
therefore,
para mas
we
maging
will
klaro.
get the number of each unit. So how will you
Yes.
do that? So we are going to divide the total number of drink wares, which is 135, by the sum of the
9.
ratios, which is 9. So
Yes.
135 divided by 9, that is 15, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken. Oh, 15.
Tama, 15 yan. At
So
para makuha yung
therefore,
sagot sa ating tanong, how many are teacups? Yung ating term for the number of teacups ay yung 4. Tama?
4,
Ito
the
yan.
last term in the ratio.
Yes. Yes. So 4 times 15, anong
That
sagot
is
dyan?
60.
Yes.
Ayun.
Nakuha ba nilang tamang sagot, Tutor Andre?
Yes, sa pagkakita ko, Tutor Prince, tama po ang kanilang mga sagot. 60 teacups.
Yes. So,
Ayan, so,
okay.
Ayan, ang dami mga sumagot ng 60. Si Carlo Miguel
Yes.
Palero ang una. Ayan, sunod din ni Althea Abellada, Henry Stephen, Kevin Martin, James
Yes.
Joseph, Angelique Joyce, Gracie Quinisala, Nerwin. Ayun. So, yun. Gagaling na ating mga kids. No? And
Yes.
somehow may mga bago na rin mga students na
Oo
sumasagot.
nga.
At
Siguro yung mga
nakakatuwa.
Yes. So, dapat siguro next time, ibanggitin nyo din yung inyong school when you comment or dun sa ating first part ng ating live stream. Okay?
Para mabati namin kayo. Ayan.
Do we still have enough time, Tutor Andre, for another problem? Or
Base sa nakikita ko, sir, we are now 43 minutes.
okay, so let's just give the homework na lang. Okay,
Yes,
so ito nating
okay.
homework. Medyo challenging ito ha, kids.
Mhm. And the challenge homework, sir, of course, we will use the hashtag, no?
Mhm.
Ang ating hashtag ay hashtag Math6 Q2 Week 2. Week
Ayan.
2, no?
Week 2,
Week 2
tama.
tayo. Yes, that's correct. So hashtag Math6 Q2 Week 2 and of course, hashtag ETUlay level up. Okay, level up.
Yan.
Level up.
Level up.
Level up, level up, level up, level up. Ay, level up.
Yan.
Napasaya
Okay.
tayo dun.
So,
Okay,
oo
sige.
nga.
Ano ba yung ating given homework for this week? And our
Yes.
homework is, again, i-send nyo sa DepEd ETUlay FB page, no? Using those hashtags. And the
Yes.
problem is, ako na Tutor Prince, okay lang po?
Yes.
Ayan. So the product of two numbers is 192. Take note the product. So pag
Oo,
multiply
product
yung
ito,
dalawang
ha?
numbers ay 192. And the given is, if the ratio of the two numbers is 4:3, what are the two numbers? Ayan. Very challenging ito, ha? So the product of two numbers is 192. If the ratio of the two numbers is in the ratio 4:3, then what are the two numbers? So hopefully,
Ayan.
masagutan niyo yan, kids. And again, we will be posting your answers in our FB page, DepEd
Yes.
ETUlay FB page, using the hashtags Math6 Q2 Week 2 and hashtag ETUlay level up.
Yan. And para tayo makasigurado na ang sagot ninyo nga ay na-post, pwede nyo na kaming i-message ni Tutor Andre, i-PM nyo kami para kung di man namin makita sa mismong FB group ang inyong sagot, ay malalaman din namin na nakasagot pala kayo. Kasi minsan, may mga hindi na-approve yung ating mga admin doon dahil sa sobrang kabisihan nila, syempre. Kaya, ang maganda is, before nyo i-send or i-post sa FB group, message nyo muna kami ni Tutor Andre. Okay? Klaro ba
Please
yun?
do PM us. Hopefully,
Yes.
kids, nasundan nyo yung ating lesson for today. And of course, sa ating
Yes.
mga manonood, ayan, please do scan the given QR code shown on your screens
Mhm.
right now. Ayan.
Yes. Itong ating kaibigan dito, nakikita ko kapag wala kaming connection eh. Kayo din ba dyan?
Yan. Yung tumatalon-talon lang,
Oo.
tatalon-talon lang at
Oo.
umiiwas sa mga cactus.
Oo. Yan. So, scan
Ayan.
yun, mga kaibigan, mga kapuso, mga kapatid, mga kapamilya, para malaman namin yung feedback, ang inyong comments, suggestions. Alright?
So hopefully,
So,
may natutunan kayo sa lesson natin for today. For our quarter 2, week 2. And of course, thank you and maraming salamat po
yes. Salamat.
sa inyong lahat. For comments and suggestions, email us at deped.gov.ph. Okay, so
Alright.
Tutor Prince, up next. Ayan po.
Yeah, okay. By the way, ang ating Math 6 pala, every Friday, ay kasabay ng pag-livestream din ng Math 1. Kaya kung may kapatid kayong grade 1 learner, siya naman ang papanoorin nyo ng tutorial session ni na Tutor Early na Tutor Sherry. Pero ang next natin, after nito ay ang Math 2 ni na Tutor Sherwin at Tutor Marian, at ang Math 7 naman with Tutor Rose and Tutor Jolie.
Ayun. So
Ayan,
maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat and hope you learned something.
Yes,
Happy weekend
thank
po
you,
sa
kids.
everyone.
Happy
Thank you.
weekend. Bye-bye.
And goodbye. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Ang husay naman! Natapos mo ang iyong tutorial session kasama ang iyong mahusay na ETUlay tutor. May bago ka bang natutuhan? I-share na yan gamit ang hashtag #ETUlayLevelUp. Huwag aalis ha, dahil may susunod pang programa na pwede mo ring panoorin at salihan. Dahil naghihintay na ang iyong mga tutors. Happy learning dito sa ETUlay!